Sorry, let me just get ready.
I gotta get ready. What the pinky? Stop, it's water.
What's up, guys? We are on episode 7 of Mic Time. Let's get it.
7.
We're rolling.
7, we are rolling. Man, 7 already.
Yeah. And today's conversation is going to be about optimism, pessimism, and realism.
Say that 2 more times fast.
Not a chance. So whether you are an optimistic person, a pessimistic person, or a realistic person.
Explain them to the people. Let them know what each one is.
If you are an optimistic person, you are usually, or you are seeing the positive side on the whatever it is that is going on, whether that is life or a certain situation. Where if you are a pessimistic person, you are seeing the worst of that situation. It goes back to that sort of analogy of whether you see the glass half full or whether you see that glass half empty.
Right.
And then a realistic person is just kind of, seeing it for what it is. At least that's what I take it as. I don't know the true definition.
Right.
But
that's tough, right? Because you can have a situation where you think it's realistically in your mind, oh, this is how it's going to pan out. But that also could make you pessimistic because if you're thinking it's going to turn out in a bad way.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a fine line between the two.
So for me, how I kind of break it down for myself, for who I am and what I would consider myself, I would consider myself a optimistic person that also sees the world in a realistic way at times. Okay. I get that. And there are other situations where I could be more of a delusional optimist. So an example right here. You ready for this?
You were delusional thinking that the cameras were ready to film before.
No, so say it's you and me, right? You and me are at a bar.
Right.
There's 4 guys that are beefing or trying to start something.
Right.
In my head, I'm going to be an optimistic that we will kick their ass. Some people will say there's no fucking chance. Well, in my mind, you and I have a better chance at winning that fight if we think that we can win it. By already thinking if you and I are going into that fight that we're going to lose. Right. So that's where the delusional optimistic person, I'm going to kick your ass. I will kick your ass. I don't care. Like, you could have knives and I could have a fucking spoon. I'm going to win. Right. You're going to spoon them?
Guys, let's spoon.
Ching, 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 ching. But you get what I'm saying, though? Yeah. It's in that sort of way where...
Toss water at your eyes.
Yeah, take this salt, pepper. Yeah. Here, have my buffalo sauce. Yeah. But
I literally just pictured you taking the water with a spoon.
Oh my god. Yeah. But jeez, can we bring it back? Can we circle? Come on.
I'm sorry.
Come on, guys. You see what I have to deal with? This man can't.
That pop up in my head.
Yeah, I know.
Oh god.
But that is sort of how I would, and I'm always trying to see the glass as half full. Right. I'm always looking on the brighter side of a situation. You're a terrible actor.
I'm sorry. You said the glass half full, and I was picturing this.
Yeah, I'm like,
look, your glass is.
So this is a perfect example. I see this, right? I see my glass right now. Okay. I see this as a good thing. I have all this water left still. I have plenty of water still to drink. As an optimistic person, that's how they would see that.
You want to know how I see that?
You see this as...
I see that as you have quenched your thirst.
I have.
And you have drank your water for the day.
So you're a realistic person.
Realistic is you drank your water.
Yeah, I drank my water. You're correct. That's a true statement. But a pessimistic person would be like, damn, I only have this much water left.
Well, a pessimistic person will say you don't have enough ice.
Well, I already ate. I kind of ate mine, not gonna lie.
You ate your ice?
You were chewing ice before. I did the same thing.
You had no proof.
It's actually on tape, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know, maybe. Anyways, back to this thing. All right.
How would you say that if you were to look back and see how you take a lot of scenarios in life, would you say that you look more on the optimistic side, a realistic side, or a pessimistic side?
Man, that's tough because I really feel like
It is. It really is.
Scenario based.
Yeah.
You know, it really, all right. So if I could relate it to my business, is the business doing good? The business is doing okay. Realistically, it could be doing better. Optimistically, I know I need a little more time, so I know it's going to get better. But sometimes I'm a little pessimistic about it, where it's like, oh, you know, I don't have enough patience, or maybe I should just get a regular job. It's really scenario based. Yeah. That's the hard part about it. You know, let's talk about when I played baseball for a living, right? Played baseball my whole life. When I played shortstop, I was very optimistic. Hit me the ball because I'm going to get everybody out. Just hit me the ball, save everybody the trouble. Just hit me the ball, right? Realistic, I know I'm not going to get everything.
Yeah.
You put me in the outfield, though. I am pessimistic. Don't hit me the ball.
Yeah, you're
like, I'm going to drop it.
Yeah.
I guess this is not going to happen. We're going to lose the game because of me, you know. And it really determines on your, what's the word I'm looking for? Confidence, right?
100%.
If you're confident in something, you're going to be more optimistic.
Yeah.
If you're not so confident, you might be more realistic. And if you have no confidence, you're going to be pessimistic.
Yeah.
Right? That's definitely a reel right there.
Yeah.
Make sure you use that whole thing. Okay? Make sure you use the whole thing.
The whole thing.
The whole
Flip
thing.
it.
Yeah. But you played soccer.
Yeah. So for me, because I was actually going to bring it to that, where similar to your baseball, to me, anytime that a cross was coming in, get it to me. I will go up because I was usually the taller person on the field, and I had really good direct, like I was able to angle and get the right, you know, spin on the ball or whatever and angle it right into the goal. You know, I usually was, no matter what, I had the confidence. Where now if, you know, I was a striker, if you put me on a defensive position, I was more of a pessimistic side, but I still had the confidence in my skill of being an athlete that I was going to do as best as I can no matter what, and I was going to beat you because of that competitive edge that I had. I will find a way to fucking take you out. Yeah. Simple as that, you know?
That's like a red flag.
But you know, it's one of those things where I you know, I played 3 sports throughout 6th grade until 12th. And varsity or whatever. I wish I could have gone on to do college stuff, but I went to an art school instead. But yeah, it was one of those situations where no matter what sport it was, I had the confidence that I was going to beat you, even if I've never played that sport.
Right.
Even if I've never played that sport, I had the confidence and the optimism that I was going to be better than you, and I was going to like destroy you.
Now, there's a saying in the Marines: hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. That's a little bit of all three.
A little bit. I would definitely say it's majority realistic. Like hoping for the best.
But prepare for the worst.
Or preparing for the worst is, you know, you're being realistic that you're going into a shitstorm.
Now, you do photography, right? Tell everybody here what you like to shoot first before I continue what I'm going to say.
So I'm mainly a automotive videographer and photographer.
Right. Okay. You decided to go into the real estate side of things, to not buy houses, but to film.
Yeah.
Where do you feel about that? Because your photography, you feel what?
I feel optimistic.
Optimistic.
Here's why. I have created a foundation of my skills and knowledge of my craft that I will succeed in whatever scenario you put me in.
Okay.
Now, there may be learning curves, but I can tell you that I will do a great job no matter what, because I'm going to be putting my best foot forward. I'm going to be putting all my skills to work that I've, you know, sharpened over the 10 years that I've been doing this, you know.
Right.
Now, if I, you know, say only had 2 to 3 years in my photography career, maybe I could see them, because at that point you're still learning. You're, you know, and I believe that I'm still learning, you know.
Right,
like
right.
in no way do I think that I would, in terms of work, I'm the best real estate photographer or videographer. No, I'm not.
Right.
But I know that if you hire me, I will give you a quality work because of the foundation that I've built.
That I understand. And I really feel that all three of those revolve around scenario based.
Yeah. And similar to, let me flip it to you now. Say you have a new client that you've never come across this case.
Okay.
But you know that you have the knowledge of the body and how everything works, that you'll be able to figure it out for them.
Right.
Or am I wrong? Or you be more like, it obviously depends on the scenario.
Right. It depends on the scenario. All right. So what I would say is this. If somebody comes to me with back pain, realistically, I pretty much know what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right. Because back pain's never really back pain. Now, if somebody comes to me with, let's say, a disease or some really, really horrible disorder, I will be a little bit of pessimistic because I don't know how to treat that. You know what I'm saying? I might sit down and say, I don't know if I'm the right person. I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
You know? It really depends on what I find during a consultation. When a consultation is going to happen, I'm very optimistic. Oh, I got a consultation. Let's go. I know exactly this person's issue, da-da-da. But if someone comes to me, let's say like a paraplegic, who's dealing with some issue somewhere, I've never treated someone who is a paraplegic.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know how well I can do for that. Will I be 100% honest? Yes. Because I will never, ever, ever tell anyone I can fix you.
Yeah.
I will say I will do my best to try to fix you along with what you need to do. So yeah, with that, again, it's a case-by-case scenario. Most of the time, I'm optimistic. When I get a consult, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm here to help you. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Let's get you out of that pain.
Right. So let's bring it back to you. Relationships.
Okay.
You're dating somebody. Are you optimistic in the beginning, or are you realistic in the beginning? Because you don't really become pessimistic until you start to see where things are going.
Yeah, I would say I never have started pessimistic.
Right. Because ain't nobody going to date you if you're starting pessimistic in the date.
Exactly.
It's like, hi, you want to go to dinner? I don't know if we should.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Our stars don't align.
You might not like the way I smell. Or
you're a Virgo. I'm a Gemini. It doesn't work.
Right. And I don't like the winter, so I hibernate.
Yeah. I want to say I definitely look on the more optimistic side, but there's a optimistic, realistic version of it. So it's like, it's not like, knowing that, it's going to become something. And to me, say you're going into a date.
Right. Your first date.
Okay. I'm optimistic to get to know the person, to see who they are as a person.
Okay. You're looking forward to
I'm looking forward to
it.
the event happening, the conversations that we're going to have.
Right.
But I'm also realistic, knowing that it could easily go, that
South.
we won't be a match. We won't fit. Our conversation won't flow. We won't click.
Right.
So I'm definitely optimistic in that sort of scenario. Yeah, or realistic in that scenario.
Right.
At times,
I'm usually more realistic before I become optimistic. In dating,
you wait until maybe you get a couple dates down.
You know what? I don't want to go in with high hopes on something like that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'm
not going to go in thinking that a first date is going to become a relationship off the bat.
Right.
100%.
I go in thinking, okay, she's here to figure out who I am. I'm here to figure out who she is. She has some shit. I have some shit, right? Because dating really comes down to everyone has shit. Just whose shit do you want to deal with?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So personally, when I go on a date with somebody, let's say the first date, I'm going in, I'm putting my best foot forward. It's just how it is.
Everyone is.
Right. It's just how it is. It's an interview at this point.
Yeah.
I'm on a job interview. You're on a job interview. But I might become optimistic after the first date going well, but not fully still. Because let's say the first date goes well and then we're still chatting and we're planning the second date, and the second date happens, now my optimism goes up a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a level.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So let's just say like from 1 to 10, right?
Yeah.
Going into the date, if I had to put things on a scale, if I had to put things on a scale, that's all you're gonna hear. I would say going into a first date, my optimism's like a 2. My realistic is more like a 5, 10.
Yeah.
Realistic as in, all right, let's see where this goes. It may go well, depending on how the conversations went prior to the first date.
Yeah, exactly.
If it was 1, 2-word answers, or I didn't really hear from that person very much, realistic is like, all right, what am I really going to get out of a person? But you give them a chance because some people are different in person than they are on the phone.
100%. 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
So my realistic level changes when it comes to time.
Okay.
Right? So now my optimism might go up and my realism might go down, or they might follow each other.
Yeah, they more or less just kind of move up with each other.
Right.
Like that optimism comes up to it, and then you kind of just rise together.
Then it rises together. Now, sometimes pessimism tries to jump in. You know, it's like that ugly little brother. You know, it's like, bro, we don't want you here.
Yeah.
You're gonna play left out, right? But they follow each other until all of a sudden something happens. Let's say you see a red flag, right? Like we spoke about. And if you guys didn't catch that episode. Red flag, green flag, 1, 2, 3. So it doesn't say 1, 2, 3. So now let's just say that they are leveled, and you see a red flag. Now my optimism will drop because of the pessimism dropping it down, right? I'm pessimism. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, pessimism.
Pessimism. So my pessimism is bringing my optimism down, but my realistic is still here.
Yeah.
Right? Or my realism might go back up because my pessimism brought my optimism down.
Yeah.
It's kind of just this whole leveling shit.
It is.
You don't think about it.
No.
When you're going through it. You just going through it.
Yeah.
You're just going through the motions. On a majority, I tell people just stay positive.
Yeah.
You know,
look on the brighter side of life.
Right. Appreciate what it is that you have and see where things are going.
Yeah.
You know, for work, that's a tough one.
Yeah. That it like in my full-time job, there are definitely, you know, say there's an ask of a project. It's like, for the most part, I'm going to give them a very realistic. Like, they'd be like, oh, can you get it done in 5 days? No, realistically, it's going to take 7, you know? Like, I'd love to get it done in 5 days for you, you know, and have that optimism to get it done faster. But realistically, it's a lot more difficult and more in-depth and more, you know, eccentric of a project. So it's going to take, you know, 7, maybe 8 days.
Yeah. That kind of falls in line with the quote that you gave me, the last one. Do you remember? No. Those who say they can and those who say they can't are usually right.
Yeah.
Right? I remembered that. Right here. Bam.
Yep.
That's optimism versus pessimism.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say that the realistic number is being pessimistic.
No.
Pessimistic would be like, I can't do this and it's going to take this long. It's like, I know I can do the project. Just realistically, with how much you're asking, this is how much it's going to take. It's like here. It's like, correct me if I'm wrong. If you are giving your client they're like, how long do you think it would take for me to feel no pain?
God damn it, I get that question like every day.
You know, it's like, well, we maybe a month. Like, ideally, if it could be a month, that'd be great. But ideally, like, realistically, it's going to be more 2 to 3 months, you know? But, you know, and if you're going to look at it pessimistic, like in their mind, say they have a pessimistic
mindset.
Pessimistic mindset, they're like, oh, he said 2 to 3 months realistically. Well, for me, in my case, maybe that'll take 5 to 6, you know?
That's tough. Yeah.
You know, for me, when I get injured, like, I'm like, no, I'm going to recover fast.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, no, let me outprove these people. Like, I'm going to do whatever I need to do and get good real quick.
Yeah. What the thing is the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind when it comes to pain. And what I tell people is when your dopamine is up or when your adrenaline is up, you don't feel any pain.
Yeah.
So, for instance, let's say I treat somebody today, and after they get off the table, they walked in with pain. They get off the table, they're in no pain, right? Their dopamine's up. They're happy. They're a little optimistic about this now.
Yeah.
Then they get in their car, and they drive home. They step out the car, the pain starts. Oh, man, it might not hold.
Yeah.
The pessimism starts.
Yep.
Right? Then they ask me, hey, what is it going to be? Is it going to be 3 months? Is it going to be 5 months? Is it going to be 7? And I'm going to sit down and say, I don't know. It really, there's so many factors in play. I can't tell you it's going to take me 7 months. I can't tell you it's going to take you a year. It might take you 3 weeks. I don't know. Yeah. For instance, I had a patient, true story, had plantar fasciitis 10 years. 10 years. Injections, nothing worked.
Yeah.
2 sessions.
Really?
That was it.
Wow.
I realized that her plantar fasciitis on her right foot was because her rib cage was shifted over to the right, which was planting more pressure on that right foot. I readjusted rib cage, also worked on the front muscles of her foot and got the calf to release. Done.
Wow. That's awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah. For her, not for my pockets.
Yeah.
Because it's like, shit, I just literally fixed this woman in 2 sessions. Yeah, and 100%. Now, but that's just part of the job. Yeah. The job is to get people better.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what I love to do. But yeah, realistically, I tell people, I'm going to be very real. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
Everyone is different. Like if you came to me for back pain and you've had back pain for 5 years, I'm going to tell you, you can't give me 1 month.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to fix back pain in 1 month.
Yeah.
You've been this way 5 years. But let's say you've come to me for back pain, you had back pain for 3 weeks, then maybe I can fix you soon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you said, case by case scenario.
Case by case, for sure.
Prior, you kind of spoke of the subconscious for a quick second. I just started reading a book, and I remember at the beginning, one of the episodes, I talked about how I wanted to start reading this year.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I started a book called How to Unfuck Yourself.
What?
Yeah.
What is it called?
Yeah. How to Unfuck Yourself.
Just pull it out.
Yeah. So I just started. I'm 15 pages in, and
15 pages in to unfuck yourself.
Yeah, 15 pages. but listen to this. So the beginning of the book talks about how we talk to ourselves, and in a negative way, in a pessimistic way. And that is setting yourself up for failure by already putting yourself in your head when you talk to yourself, because everyone talks to themselves, and you may not be aware of that, but there are plenty of times throughout the day where you just, think something to your head and to your mind, and you start, having a mini conversation. And they very much talk about however you talk to yourself, whether that be in a positive or negative way, is how that most likely is going to, the outcome's going to be. So the
worst place to live is in your mind. That is the worst place to live, because let me tell you, sometimes those blinds are open and sometimes those lights are off.
Yeah.
And it is a very dark place to be in.
Yeah. Being in your head is the worst.
That is by far the worst place to live in, especially when you meet somebody or somebody or someone pisses you off. Mm-hmm. Now they're living in your head rent free.
Exactly. And that's complete. And they just in there. There's nothing you can do about it.
That sucks. Yeah. The dark place in your head, that's just something that you have to kind of get out of, which makes me question, how can we go from being pessimistic in a situation into more optimistic?
I think to do that, you have to sort of remove yourself from whatever situation. Example, I wake up and, I'm fully healthy, but, I feel like I'm going to have a bad day, but everything in my life is good. That right there is obviously a pessimistic start to my morning, where I can, if I want to become more of a pessimistic person, be like, wow, I'm a fucking healthy person, my two legs work. I have my loved ones around me. I'm gonna have a great day.
That's more optimistic, you mean?
Yeah. And I'm saying remove yourself from the situation and be thankful that, and I'm not saying, I'm not talking bad and that it's the end of the world if you become an amputee, but just be like, so many people will talk, badly about that. It's like you have your two legs. You are healthy.
Right.
You're alive. You're alive. You have a head above your roof. There are so many people in other worlds that don't have, clean running water. They don't have, food always on their table. They don't have, a food or a house over their head.
Right.
There's so many things that, at least for us here in America, so what's up to JMO? Us here in America, people take for granted and don't realize that there are so many other people out in the world that have it way worse. But they don't have that understanding, and they have a pessimistic view on their life when it's like you should really be thankful for everything that you have.
Yeah, I want to touch base on that real quick before we get into Cody's quotes. If you are a pessimistic person, because I used to be that way.
Okay.
I used to be the person that was looking at things in a negative manner.
Okay.
The one thing you have to do is separate yourself from whatever's causing you to think that way. And there are many factors in play with that. It could be the music you listen to.
Yeah.
Right? It could be the things you watch on TikTok and social media. Those things can drive you down that spiral, that rabbit hole of depression and pessimism, right? Getting you to think everything is bad or things are going to go bad. The news is one of those things I stay away from because the news will feed you tons and tons of negative shit.
That's what, unfortunately, what the media is run off of. It is negativity. You don't see in the media, for the most part, oh, this person saved this life, or this amazing thing happened. No, you see all the negative bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to remove yourself from that, especially if your algorithm on TikTok or Instagram is negative shit. It's going to keep you there. Matter of fact, as of today, social medias are being sued by the government.
Oh, yes.
For feeding into ruining children through social media, with, making them addicted, making them depressed, feeding them. And believe it or not, they purposely did that to keep you on social media. And I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
Your algorithm is designed to keep you on there and feed into your negative shit. If you want to change your algorithm, let's say I go from watching sad stuff, I'll search on Instagram happy. Click one, like it. Click another one, like it. Click another one, like it. Now all of a sudden the algorithm is like, oh, he likes to watch stuff that makes him happy. Now your whole algorithm changes.
Bingo.
But you have to do that first if you want to be on social media. Yeah. You can't let it, destroy you.
No.
The other thing is by removing yourself from a situation and analyzing the situation, it's like, okay, how did I get here? What in this situation is causing me to think negative? Okay, but what positive has happened in the situation or prior to the situation? Or could there be a positive outcome to the situation? Then you start to say, okay, let's just say, for example, what's an example? All right, let's just say you take your car to a body shop, right? Let's say you take your car to shop, alternator's dead, right? And the guy goes, oh, okay, alternator's dead. You change the alternator. Realistically, you're taking your car to shop, you're going to sit down and think, oh, man, something else is probably going to go wrong. Or they're going to tell me something else is going to happen.
It's going to cost this much.
Right. Then you get that phone call from the shop. And they, oh, you know what? The electrical wires, eating up. We have to change that too. Now you start going into this negative spiral of like, oh, man, something else is going to go wrong.
More and more just keeps piling on.
Right. Or you get that phone call and he says, oh, yeah, the alternator's been changed. Everything else is good. And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
And it was in a faster manner.
Right. Or you can sit down and say, realistic, how much is this alternator really going to cost me?
Yeah.
Every situation is different, but you have to analyze the situation in a whole and determine how you're going to respond to each individual one. Am I going to respond to optimism this way? Am I going to respond to pessimism this way? Am I going to respond to realism this way? Like, am I going to be realistic about this?
Yeah.
Then the other thing that I would say before we get to Cody's quotes
Yes, sir.
is that I just completely got distracted by me messing up those words. So I don't remember.
On yourself.
I stumbled on myself and forgot where I was going with this. So let's go to Cody's quotes. Hit it.
Oh, it's Cody's quotes. It's Cody's quotes.
It's on a note. Oh wait, no, it's on your phone.
Oh, today it's on our phone. Because I forgot my damn notebook.
Yeah, I forgot his notebook, guys.
I love that thing, but it's not here with me. All right, ready? This I like this one.
Okay, let's go for it.
Optimism is the faith that leads you to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Let me say it one more time.
Yes.
Optimism is the faith that leads you to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence.
So basically what they're saying is hope and confidence is part of being optimism.
Correct.
Optimistic, I mean.
Yeah, being optimistic.
Is part of being optimistic. I would say, perfect example, COVID, okay? Everyone didn't think we were going to get out of that, right? 2020 COVID happened, March 16th, never forget it. That's when the gym shut down. 1 year later, so March 16th, 2020, 1 year later, May 2nd, 2021,
Okay.
I opened up my business. Still COVID.
Yeah.
People still wearing masks, right? Still people getting injections, all this other shit. And I opened up the business being optimistic. First day I open my door and all my patients and clients come over, I lose 3. They knew I was going there.
Wow.
They knew that I needed all hands on deck to be able to get this to happen.
Yeah.
And 3 of them left. And it was like, oh shit.
That's like taking the winds out of your sails.
How the hell am I going to afford the rent now? I just lost 3 clients and I opened day 1.
Yeah.
And I'm signed into a lease. So now realistically, I'm sitting down saying, I'm already done before I even started.
Yeah.
Right. So I sat down and said, okay, realistically, here's the situation. I can't pay this. How am I going to move forward? All right, well, I have to get more people somehow. So I started a referral program. I started going out there, try to get people more. I started telling my current patients and clients to leave reviews on Google, no matter what it is. I'm not telling you what to write. Just write what you feel.
Yeah.
And once I got a referral from somebody, my pessimism went down and my optimism went up.
There you go.
Then I got another one. Then I got another one. But then I lost 2. So it's kind of like an EKG. Kind of just goes up and down, up and down. And that's kind of how I've been to this day. I'll go up, I'll get 4 or 5 patients, and all of a sudden I'll lose 2.
Yeah.
And I'm not losing 2 because they just can't afford it. I'm losing 2 because they got better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's that's part of that business of healing people and fixing them in a way.
Yeah. Someone's always hurt.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to find me.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I think about that. You have to have hope and confidence. I had hope and confidence to open that business. And sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah.
It's just part of life. You know? What about you? What do you think that means?
I mean, I think you're spot on. I think it's that, with optimism, you need all these positive characteristics or things in your head for it to become a thing. For you to achieve what you want to achieve, you need to believe in yourself. You need to know that you can do that. And it's almost, it's kind of going into where people always say they are putting into fruition. Or there's another word as well for it, but putting into fruition.
Putting it into the universe.
Yeah, putting it into the universe. Manifesting it. That's
manifesting
what
it.
they're
Gotcha.
manifesting it,
Right.
And I do believe in that, because whether manifesting it actually works or if it's you just positively reaffirming yourself that you can do that job, that allows you to give you that confidence to keep going and to continue and succeed.
God, man, the whole time that you were saying that and I was paying attention to it, something sparked in my head and I lost it.
Since you lost it, I'm going to give you a little bit of time. I have something that I want to read. It's not a quote.
Okay.
Or I guess it could be a quote, but it's more or less. I liked how they explained what sort of.
Damn, what were you saying before?
Oh,
Now I'm trying to remember.
okay, here it's kind of similar to the seeing the glass half full, half empty.
Okay.
It's another way to sort of explain pessimism, optimism, and realism.
Okay.
So a pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects it to change. The realist adjusts the sails.
Oh, that was a good one too, though.
Yeah.
That was a good one
I think
too.
that's a really good breakdown of kind of all three.
Right.
But yeah, it's really interesting how people's minds can kind of turn on themselves.
Yeah.
When I feel like you shouldn't allow it to do that.
So the realistic person is the one that's going to force the change to happen. The optimistic person is the one that's going to just basically hope it's going to happen. And the pessimistic person is the one that sits down and says, this shit ain't going to go right.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I got from that.
Okay.
Right? The realistic person.
The realistic person realize, like in my head when I'm reading that, the realistic person realizes, okay, there's wind. I can raise sails and use that wind.
Right. Wait, I thought of something. I don't want to lose it.
Okay.
So it's kind of, let's say you're celebrating a friend's birthday and you had these plans for this friend's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And your friend says, oh, we're going to this restaurant. You get to the restaurant and they don't have your reservations.
Mm.
And now they say, we can't seat you for an hour. The pessimistic person is going to sit down and say, well, it's ruined. That's it.
Yeah.
The whole day's ruined. Like the whole birthday party's
Yeah.
ruined, right? The optimistic person will say, well, we could probably find something, there's got to be something somewhere. And the realistic person says, there's going to be some waits, but we're going to find a place that has less waits.
Yeah, that's great.
It's that good?
No,
I think that was pretty good.
No, I think that was spot on.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Pat on the back. Almost broke my wrist on that.
Oh boy, we don't want to do that.
Yeah, I had something good before, but I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But for what it is, I think the conversation went really well.
Yeah. No, I think it's a conversation that a lot of people should have with themselves on if they feel that they are a sort of leaning towards a pessimistic person, and they see life as, very they see life as, pessimistic and the world's against them. Try to just remove yourself and try to find the way to look at it in a more optimistic way, because everyone in life is going through shit. It's just, how can you make it look to be a little bit easier on yourself and better? Because there's, you and I have gone through shit. Mm-hmm. Neither are worse, but how can we become better people and use that situation that we went through as a positive?
It's crazy. Sometimes, not sometimes, every single time somebody gives you some amazing advice is because they have been hurt the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, even in my gym at LA Fitness, a lot of people know me. They don't know me personally, but they know me from, that's the guy in the gym, right? Mm-hmm. And often people come up to me and I can feel energy off the bat. You know what I mean? I can feel when something's not right. The way you walk, the way you talk. We wear our hearts on our sleeves. That's just what we do.
Oh, yeah.
We know when something's bothering somebody else. And they'll come up to me and they'll ask for advice on something. And as much shit as I've been through, I will always give the best advice that I can. And it usually 99% of the time fixes that person's situation.
Yeah.
And I love that about my trait, right? That's part of my character now.
Yeah.
But I wasn't born this way. I was molded into it.
Yeah. Because of all the life experiences that you have been through.
All the things I've been through. And I will never sit down and say I know it all. I don't. But the shit that I have been through will make you wonder, how am I still alive?
I second that. I've gotten that multiple times from people when I'm telling them and trying to help them through a situation. And they're like, how did you do this? Like, my situation is only this. It's like, how did you do that? Because that is 10 times worse.
Yeah, 1,000. And sometimes telling somebody your shitty situation makes their situation seem less.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, okay, you know what? It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Which sucks. You don't want to be used in that manner. But,
Yeah.
you know, if you have to turn somebody from being so pessimistic to being more realistic or optimistic, I mean, you do what you got to do to help people.
There are times, and I don't know if this is, I don't know what to call this, but I've always felt that because of the things that I've gone through, I would rather take on more bullshit than see my loved ones and my friends take on stuff. I'd rather go through it. If I could take the pain away from my family and friends, and I'll take that burden, than see them go through that because of everything that I've been through,
Yeah.
I would do that 100%.
I'm the same exact way. And that's why we click so well.
Yeah.
You know, it's because we know the shit that we've been through, so we know what we can handle.
Yeah.
And when we look at a situation that to us doesn't seem that big because we've handled worse, we'll take it from you.
Yeah.
So I'll take your pain.
Yeah. I'll gladly take
I'll
that
take
pain.
your back pain. I've had it.
Yeah.
I'll take your mental pain. I've had it.
Yeah.
I'll take your stress. I've had it. You know,
Yeah.
I know how to handle all of that. And I guess being a man is very difficult, you know, because and I mean being a real man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean being a man that is a provider, a supporter, a protector.
Yeah.
I'm a lover. I'm a fighter. And I fight for what I love. And when I care about somebody, sometimes I care too hard or I care too fast. That's one of my flaws, right?
Yeah.
So I'll try to take their pain or prevent them from feeling pain. You know, and I'll tell realistically, this is what's going to happen if you keep down this road.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not Captain Save-A-Ho, but when I like somebody or I care about somebody, I'm in it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's hard sometimes because you know you need to learn how to separate certain things. But my whole life was revolved around caring for people.
Yeah.
EMS, the job I do now, seeing people at their worst.
Yeah.
Where I never want the person I care about to be in a position that they don't have to be in.
Yeah. Because it breaks you knowing that the person that you care about is in that pain, because that's the last thing that you want to see.
Yeah. So realistically, I will be that person that says, give me your pain. You're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Be optimistic. Things are going to get better. There's this perfect spiral in life where, and I said this in the last one, when things are going good, this too shall pass. When things are going bad, this too shall pass. It's always going to be these ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know, and realistically, you know that. Realistically, you know if shit's going good for you right now, God bless. I'm so happy for you that shit's going good. But be careful because shit is going to go bad soon. Be prepared.
And when it rains, it fucking pours.
And when it rains, it pours. But when that happens, remember, the sun always shines. That's where you got to be optimistic. All right, I'm going through this shit now. I know it's not going to last. How do I get out of it?
Exactly.
Right. I think we ended there.
I think we're good.
That was a good one.
I think I was excited for this episode. I knew it wasn't going to be like, we're not having like a super long episode on this one.
Yeah.
But I think it was really thorough.
It's only short by 3-4 minutes.
Yeah. Ended up going longer than we expected.
Yeah, we thought this was only going to be like a 30-minute video.
But no, I think that this was a really good conversation. We had this one ready from the beginning. And it was just about time when it came up.
Right.
And I'm happy about that book because I literally read the beginning of that book, Go Unfuck Yourself, last night. So that's why it was like, it clicked. I was like, wow, we're filming this today. And I was like, okay, cool.
Nice. Nice. And, we're going to have some guests. I think we should have a guest our next video.
Okay. I'm down
Right.
with
We
that.
already have the microphone.
Yep. We got we got to figure out a camera.
Oh, yeah.
We got to figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Donation? No.
Actually, not really. I mean, we can let's say somebody's sitting here, we can just have the camera facing this way. And then when you need to cut, because there's frames, you could probably just cut the frame.
We could do that. We could try and do that.
Yeah, we could definitely, we'll practice it a little bit with somebody.
Yeah.
Before we do that.
We could get my sisters to sit in.
Yeah, just have them sit here and just see what we can do. But yeah, I'm excited. Guys, like, comment, subscribe, give the
thumbs up.
Please, that helps us a lot. If you see a short from us, give it a thumbs up.
Yes.
Share. In the comments, let us know, are you more realistic? Are you more optimistic? Or are you more pessimistic? And if you're pessimistic, cut the shit out. Be more optimistic, right? If you want to be a little realistic, that's what I was going to say before.
Hit them.
And
end the episode
and
right
then
now.
we're going to end the episode. When you are realistic, you never want to get your hopes up. That's why you become realistic. Well, you don't want to become, when you're pessimistic, you also don't want to get your hopes up. That's one thing I hate the most.
You're preparing for the worst.
I hate getting my hopes up.
Yeah.
But sometimes a hope, the same exact thing, a hope and a prayer are the same exact thing. You're just saying it out loud. Because usually when you pray, you either pray to yourself, and sometimes you may speak out loud. But when you say I hope, you usually say it to a friend or somebody. I hope this happens.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really hope this happens. You just said a prayer. It's the same exact thing. Anyways, not touch base on the God thing. Guys, love you. Thank you so much.
Peace out. Till next time.
Till next time.